Greetings, brothers and sisters in Christ. Last week I sent you a text with a link to Bethlehem behind the scenes, and I asked, did you want to see something similar at Tabor? I think most of you thought I was asking, do you want our services to look like Bethlehem? What I was trying to ask is, do you want to see a behind the scenes? So scenes, given that many of you haven't seen our roof, because you haven't had opportunity to drive through the yard, I thought I would do a roof tour and a quick behind the scenes. Now, for those of you watching who are not people from Tabor, one of the reasons we can't go into our church, apart from the restrictions, is that we replaced our roof during March and did some electrical work that is not complete. So I'm going to give you a tour of our beautiful new shiny roof and then take you in the church. So hopefully I can hold you steady as I walk and don't make you dizzy. So this is the whole side of the building. We'll go around here. You can see in some spots we have electrical cord hanging out incomplete. That's because of the electrical work that's not complete. But you also see our beautiful new fascias, gutters, and mostly downpipes that have been painted. Fascias mostly replaced, some replaced, some just painted. To go with the new roof, it looks really beautiful. Now we're on to the cemetery side of the church. I think I'll bring you back a little bit so you can see it all. You can already see some white dots. We've had some birds come to visit, but it still looks nice and new. When it's wet, it gets a bit darker, but you know, this is the colour, the lovely grey colour of our new slate roof. Let's keep going. Not many park out this side, so you don't see this side all that often. We'll come around here. And here's we'll come in close to the entrance door so you can see it's in the shadow. You can see where it goes darker when it's wet, because these roofs haven't dried out yet. There's still got a bit of moisture on them. Hopefully you can see that in the video. We'll go around the other side. Not much to see on this end. And this, oh, we're going to have the sun right there. You won't be able to see a thing probably. We'll get in the shade. This is the view you're used to seeing on a Sunday morning, and that we're all hanging out to come in this door again. Let's walk down here, or if you use the ramp, in this door. There's some of the conduit that has come out of the building. So that's still to be cleaned up and finished. Right, and now we're coming into the vestry door. Come inside. Light fittings that have been removed, still yet to be completed. Here's what it looks like. The power box, lots of incompleted cables there. Only one light that's working. Oh, we are on, so we'll go in here. If you walk in this door, please be careful. Power cords and all sorts of other things still on the floor. And you can see our ladder there with our strategically placed light. Thank you very much to the congregation member who is loaning that to us, and we need that really for recording, because when you're sitting here, notice your lovely spot atop a table. This is the view you're used to seeing. Well, if I record at this time of day, there's too much light coming in those beautiful windows, and getting a good video is very difficult, even with that light, so I have to be careful about the time of day when I video. Anyway, if we turn around, you can see why it's a bit hard for us to use the building, even if restrictions had lifted enough for us to use the building. Pews are covered and all bunched up together. Now, another thing, I'd like to preach from the pulpit soon, but finding a position is a little difficult. Perhaps that's a challenge for the worship committee and the amplifier committee to help me find a position from which I can video in the pulpit. But at the moment, we're just staying in the one spot there in the middle and doing everything from the left. And anyway, I'll just take you up the back so you can see the organ Organ is still covered, waiting for the electrical work to be done so that we can uncover it, and perhaps then we'll have organ as part of our Sunday services. And one other thing to show you, especially for those of you that like sitting back here, I know for some of you it's the favourite spot up the back. You're getting new lights here, you're going to have a row of down lights through here, so you'll be able to see when we get back into the church. So that's a little what it looks like behind the camera. I try and make it look as nice as possible in front of the camera. We've had some ladies bringing flowers for us, and that's a big help. And so just briefly, I wanted to tell you what happens after the video is made here. So I film on my phone with this same microphone that we're using today. So when we make a video, we film it, then I take it to the office and transfer the files to the computer. And then I import it into a program and add the words, then extract that file. Now, sometimes that file extraction takes 5 to 10 minutes for the daily prayer services, and maybe half an hour, 45 minutes for the Sunday service that I've been recording on Saturday. Then we usually for the Sunday service, I turn it into a DVD, and that takes, perhaps half an hour to 45 minutes to make the DVDs. I think we're doing half a dozen at the moment. If you'd prefer a DVD rather than YouTube, you can let me know and I can make one for you. And then of course I upload it to YouTube, which for Sunday services takes an hour to an hour and a half for the internet to get all that done. For the daily services, about 10 to 15 minutes. So that is behind the scenes of Tabor, and the challenge for the worship committee and the amplifier committee, I think, is we are getting our services to people that perhaps can't come every week. So when we start gathering again, we're going to need to find a way to record our services and get a little distribution model happening so we keep getting to those people. I hope to see you all soon, face to face. Christ is risen. He is risen indeed.